poor digestion, constipation, rosacea, low energy, flus and colds. Can it be cured with diets and lifestyle medicine? Is there any natural solutions to heal yourself with no medicine whatsoever and a raw food diet? Do you actually have to suffer and take pills for your entire life, or is there a natural solution? Stay there to learn with Tatsiana, vegan fruity flower, and how she healed herself with nothing besides healthful living and a raw food diet. What other subjects would you want to view here? Do you want to know more about? Please comment below. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications. And if you want to help our work and help yourself, 2 of my 10 books are already translated and published in English on Amazon, and Hygienic Fasting Nature Surgery is actually available print on demand also, and Natural Delicacies Cooking Without a Stove, it's on Kindle. So if you want my help, the link below for the website and for the WhatsApp contact, you can get a consultation, retreats, online courses, and read all the books. It's life-changing information for the most updated lifestyle information out there in the planet. Hi, I'm Eduardo Corassa, also known in Brazil as Dr. Corassa, because I'm a clinical nutritionist that have been thriving for 18 years on a raw food diet and a natural hygiene lifestyle. That means I was really sick. I was diabetic, about to do 2 surgeries, one in my back, one in my nose. I had respiratory issues, allergies, intestinal diseases. I have a lot of illness. And for the last 18 years, I switched to a raw food diet, a frugivore diet, a diet based on fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, and also a natural hygiene lifestyle. That means I practice healthful living through sunshine, exercise, sleeping early. I have an intermittent fasting eating window throughout the day. I practice chrononutrition, chronobiology, interaction with nature. So that actually healed myself. And for the last 18 years, I haven't had one sick day or any symptoms whatsoever. So that is the difference between thriving and surviving. And I want you to thrive as well. If you only have the right information and the motivation, you can reach your full potential to reach more than 100 years full of health instead of suffering illness throughout your entire life and shortening your life through many years. Stay there until the end to learn more how Tatsiana, a vegan fruity flower, healed herself with a raw food diet. If you have the knowledge, you will have more willpower to make the changes that you need for your health. So introduce to us a little bit, Tatsiana, and tell us a little bit of your story.
Hi everyone, yes, my name is Tatsiana, and I have been vegan for over 12 years. And before changing my diet and lifestyle, I've never had that connection between what I ate and the way I felt. I always consider food as a tool to socialize, to satisfy my taste buds. It was convenient, traditional. And later in my life, I started paying the prices, heavy price. I was pretty sick child all my life, and I got frequent cold and flu symptoms. And later in life, I started experiencing more serious problems like constipation. I was overweight, and no matter how much I worked out, I couldn't get rid of that stubborn weight around my belly. And I often had low energy, and frequently after my dinner, I was so exhausted that I just wanted to fall asleep. And beside that, I had lots of skin issues. I had a flared up rosacea. And yeah, I didn't know what was happening. I was taking a bunch of medications, but nothing seems to help. Till one day I got severe right abdomen pain, and I thought it's appendicitis, and I went to ER, and they didn't know what was happening with me. They again prescribed me a bunch of antibiotics, but this time, I didn't want to take any medications anymore. I wanted to find out what is actually happened to my health, why it's so declining. And I started educating myself about health, about diet, and this is when I learned about vegan lifestyle, which meant to exclude animal products. But back then, I was eating animal products every day, and I couldn't imagine how I'm gonna just, forget my favorite dishes. And I just was looking like for the strong motivation for me to stop eating meat. And this is how I found a video, YouTube video. They call it From Farm to Fridge, 11 minutes footage from slaughterhouse. And I just saw for the first time what happens to the animal in slaughterhouse. And I forced myself to watch that video all the way to the end. And I was terrified. I was shocked and I was crying. And this was the last day I ate meat. And from that point, I got scared. I didn't know how my diet's gonna look like, where I'm gonna get my protein, when I'm gonna get my nutrients, calcium, iodine, those nutrients are people worried about the most. And I started educating myself about nutrition and start eating healthier, started eating healthy vegan dishes. And I already start notice amazing changes with my health. And this is probably after a year after I switched to vegan, I heard about raw vegan lifestyle. And when I start eating more raw food, my health improved dramatically. My constipation was gone. I started getting a much easier digestion. I had high energy throughout the day. Anytime I ate meal, I felt amazing. I didn't need any caffeine, any stimulants. My skin cleared up and my rosacea was gone. And right now I don't have any makeup. I don't use makeup. I don't need to cover anything. My skin started glowing and whole my body was like awakened, just like I've never felt like this before. And I effortlessly started losing weight. I didn't need to do pretty much anything about it. And I have actually extra energy to work out and I felt amazing. So raw food, not heat processed food, it's such a miracle because all the enzymes are intact, all the nutrients, phytochemicals, phytonutrients, and it takes so much energy for the body to digest food if it's animal products, if it's cooked food. But if it's raw, unprocessed, not heat processed food, when all the enzymes are intact, the body doesn't have to spend this precious energy on digestion, and you're gonna feel much better. So another benefits of raw food, eating raw food, I don't get sick. I never go to the doctor. I don't take any medication. And it saved me so much money on insurance, on a dental visits, my teeth got better. I mean, I used to have a gums problem, and now, I mean, it's a miracle. I cannot even emphasize this enough, how important it is to have clean diet. And from raw food diet, I transitioned to eating lots of living food like this. I have a pea, microgreens, and sunflower, and wheatgrass, and I grow like broccoli sprouts, clover, and mung beans. It's so easy to grow them and have living food at your house. And this can replace you pretty much all the supplements, and again, save you so much money. And after years of living this lifestyle, my body becomes so efficient in extracting nutrients from smaller amount of food, so I don't have to eat that much to satisfy my body needs. So my body doesn't have to work that hard to get all it needs from smaller amount of food. And this is the secret of longevity, when we don't eat that much, when the body doesn't work that hard, and we give it all it needs, and we feel amazing. So we work with our bodies. We give it what it needs, and it makes us feel great and allow us to do what we love in our life without worrying how we feel. It's just active and energized. So I absolutely love it.
Nice. I love to see people having so many benefits and so much love or talking about raw foods, because I feel the same, right? Like I think all of us that have healed themselves and have seen that what nobody else sees it, right? Like because if the world sees what we see it, that like living on living food would actually heal the world, like in terms of wars, in terms of like a difference in social economics, anything like health wise. So we are so passionate about it. So it's funny to see you talking about it, because I am the same, right? Like, and you can actually see the vibrancy. Although we are online, I can see the skin and the hair and the eyes. You know, like I believe we can see that we thrive, right? Like you said it. I'm not using any makeup, and for sure, I like my hair is better than it was when I used shampoo, and I haven't used shampoo for almost 18 years. Like maybe once, like you know, when in a date or something like that. But and my skin is way much better at 40 than it was at 17. You know, like so it's quite funny because I don't know, you're glowing, and so congratulations for that and for making all that change.
Thank you. Yes, about the skin, like many women concerned about the skin condition, the skin health. I just can like share that your skin condition, it's a reflection of your health on the inside. When your body is clean on the inside, your skin's gonna glow. I mean, this is the direct connection. Pretty much any skin issues that we experience, it's a representation of what's going on. Something is going on inside the body. The body cannot clean itself through the colon, and unfortunately, skin has to pay the price.
Nice. Yeah. So 12 years vegan, and how many years are raw vegan?
I would say over 8 years.
8 years. Nice. And do you supplement B12?
No.
No.
I don't, and I can tell you why. Okay, about the supplementation. I don't supplement just because to supplement. I do blood test probably maybe once a year, every 2 years, just to be safe. And I only would take only those supplements that I see that I am kind of low. And I don't have any problems with B12 or other blood markers are on point. And actually, my nurse was surprised when she saw my blood condition. She was asking, "What do I eat?" So yeah, I mean, the only reason I would take supplements if I see that I need them. I do take supplements in a whole food form, like spirulina, on a regular basis, chlorella, and sometimes I take a barley grass juice powder when I travel, like medicinal mushrooms, like reishi mushroom, chaga, lion's mane. But if I have to take a B12, if I see I'm running low, I would take it, but I don't take it at the moment.
Nice. So you never had B12 deficiency, even though 12 years vegan? Mm-hmm. You never had
No.
But you already supplemented once or like a few times, or?
Well, I do supplement sometimes, maybe like once a year. I go through that I take one bottle and I finish it. It's a sublingual supplement in your mouth, and that's it.
Nice.
I don't even worry.
Nice. That's so cool. The B12 is the only thing I actually worry about it. And yes, I have a friend that she's actually Brazilian, but she lives in the US, and she's also raw vegan, and mostly raw vegan, right? And she also said that she takes spirulina and chlorella, and her blood test for B12 goes over like 800 nanograms per deciliter. And it's like, although algae, it's supposed to be, how do you guys say, it's not actually real B12. I wouldn't know how to say that in English.
It's not reliable source.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not a reliable source because it mimics B12, but it's not an active form of B12. But a corinoid, I don't know the term. But still, she never had any symptoms whatsoever. She, although the supplementation comes from only nutritional yeast and chlorella and spirulina. Her blood levels are really high, and she never had any issue with B12. So I think she's vegan for 17 years or something like that. So it's pretty impressive, you know.
Yeah. Also, from my research, when we live this lifestyle for a while now, when the GI gets clean, your microbiome actually will produce B12 for you. So it's very important to keep that GI tract clean. I do sometimes like liver flush to keep my liver clean, and do some kind of like a herbal protocols to clean my GI tract. So make sure I have healthy microbiome, clean GI tract, so my microbiome can produce essential minerals and vitamins for me. So my body and I work together. I feed my microbiome, I feed my body what it needs, and in return it gives me like amazing health without doctors.
Yeah, I love the research, right? Like I'm a writer, etc. So I have like 10 books published. So I really love, I'm really into the science, right? And yes, I already read a scientific article on Indians that when they move from India to the United Kingdom and they adopt, a British diet, they ended up changing their microbiome and stop producing B12 before the absorption place in the ileum, in the small intestine. And so that's pretty, we still lack research, but I also believe that there's something behind it, because bonobos, for example, they don't supplement B12 and they don't eat animals. The chimps eat once in a month and still they don't suffer from B12 deficiency. So like it's probably a lifestyle related and not an intake related, a diet related.
Yeah. Another thing, I mean, for all the listeners who are watching this podcast, B12, it's not only a problem for non-vegans. For vegans, non-vegans have the same issues. So it's not like only plant-based eaters can experience B12 deficiency. But B12 comes from the soil, and when animals eat like what they eat, that conventional food that doesn't come from the soil, they will still get that vitamin B12 deficiency.
Yeah.
So it's not like vegan problem only. And so for me, it's very important to get in contact with the soil, because this is where the B12 actually comes from. It comes from the dirt. So I have a land. We have 5 acres here, and sometimes I go with my bare hands and just touch the soil and connect to the soil. So this is how I got the healthy microbiome on my fingers, and I believe this is part of me getting B12 this way.
For sure. I agree completely with that, and sorry for the yummy. Here it's already 7 p.m. and like I sleep really early, always, right? So like today I'm like with 2 big like lights on my face, and this is causing chrono disruption. My body wants to go to sleep, and I'm like awake. So sorry for it's just it probably there is like on 1 hour behind, 2 hours behind, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock, 6 p.m.
Cool,
in Florida.
Cool. Yeah, and that accent is Russian. You're.
Yes, I speak Russian, and I'm originally from Belarus.
Oh, Belarus. Oh, yeah, I imagine there was some North country in Europe, like because of the accent. So, tell us a little bit more. How is your diet nowadays? Like, okay, you're a raw vegan. You eat, you seem to eat a lot of sprouts, for example, etc. But how do you do in a daily living? How do you go about your diet?
Okay, I have my eating schedule, eating protocol that I've been developing for these years, and making sure that works for me in terms how easy it is to make and how it makes me feel during the day, for me to get all the nutrients and be satisfied with what I eat. So I start my morning with green juices, wheatgrass and green juices. I work out first. I do my meditation, my breath work. And then I have my green juices, and that always includes the living food, microgreens, and my wheatgrass. And then after that, probably an hour after my juices, I have my first solid meal, which is a fruit. It can be a mono meal, one type of fruit at a time, or it can be like one meal, like one fruit, like something juicy, like melons or watermelons, maybe some grapes, maybe some mangoes, whatever is in season. I always love to eat something seasonal, ideally something local. And then I can go maybe a couple hours later, and I eat until full. All my meal I eat until full, so I don't snack between the meals. So my next meal after this mono meal, it can be a combination of fruits. It can be a fruit salad, it can be a green smoothie, it can be nice cream like made of banana. It can be like buckwheat porridge with some berries, with some coconut yogurt. And my last meal, it's a savory dinner, and this is where I play with the texture, with flavors, with nuts, seeds. It can be salad, it can be nori rolls, it can be raw burgers or mock tuna or raw pasta. I mean, there's so many options. So I stop eating fruits. I eat fruits only during the day, and then I leave all the fat and protein for my dinner. And this is my last meal. I don't have any snacks in between the meals. And this eating strategy allow me to have a great digestion throughout the day. And it's easy for me. Fruits are easy to digest. I can take them anywhere. And the only thing I usually plan ahead, it's my dinners. For example, if I plan to use certain nuts and seeds, I always soak them for better digestion. And so that's how I do it.
Nice. So you eat a lot of fruits, but you also eat, so for example, buckwheat, as you said, and a lot of vegetables for dinner. Mushrooms, probably? No. You said mushrooms.
I like to take medicinal mushrooms like a supplement, like lion's mane, chaga, reishi. So yeah, I used to eat much more fruits before, and I pretty much was like on a fruitarian diet. And I noticed that with time, like my body is craving more greens, probably maybe more minerals, more vegetables. And when I started incorporating more green juices, more bitter greens into my diet, I started feeling much better. I started feeling more balanced, because just being on fruits alone, I felt like I was too high. My energy was so high, and I didn't know what to do with it. So when I started eating more greens, a little bit more nuts and seeds, still low percentage, but I had them much more than before. I started feeling much better, and I feel like for female, it's important to have those healthy nuts and seeds, healthy fat, avocados, maybe coconut meat, for the hormonal system, for the hormones.
Nice.
So I feel much better when I eat this kind of foods also.
Nice. Yeah, the same for me. For my first 2 years, I have been only eating like almost entirely fruits and vegetables for the first 2 years. And then, after nowadays, I incorporate some legumes like sprouted lentils and sprouted chickpeas. And I eat a little bit more nuts and seeds than I used before, some algae now and then, some mushrooms, but primarily fruits and vegetables. Fruits are like, there's no food that can beat a durian.
Oh, oh my gosh, durian. Okay, if I would tell you on my top 3 fruits, durian would be my second.
Second? What is the first one?
Mango.
Mangoes? Really? Wow.
I can tell you why. I'm not, when I say mango, it's not just any mangoes, because living here in Florida, I tried over 150 varieties of mangoes.
Wow.
So much more. We have 2 mangoes farm here, and one of them has about 300 varieties.
Wow.
So I when I was buying mangoes, I was writing down the names of the mango, and then when I ate them, I was describing, okay, for example, cherry mango, okay, the flavor, sweet, juicy, fiberless, orange flesh, and A+++. Okay, so for the next year, when I go back to the farm, okay, I was going through my notes. Oh, I like this kind, and I was buying this particular variety. And that's I try over 150 varieties, and they're so different, and I will never get enough eating. Yeah.
Nice. I probably have tried 14, 15 varieties of mangoes, never 150. That is my next goal for sure. I was actually in Costa Rica like a week ago, eating durian and black sapote and mamey sapote. Oh my God. I got so many different stuff over there.
I never tried fresh durian. Maybe I'm going to change my mind. I only tried it frozen, imported from Thailand and Philippines. Like they ship it frozen. Then I get the order, but probably it's different. I might change my mind, but for now it's mango.
I love mangoes. I really love mangoes. And don't get me bad mango trees, but like durian. You cannot beat a fresh durian. Like I had some Musan King over there. Like I found a farmer that he was like the main producer in Costa Rica, and I was like, oh, you get hooked. You get addicted to it. But like I like really green figs from Portugal. They call honey drops. Oh my God, it's the best figs. I had green figs on United States. In the Woodstock Fruit Festival, but it was not even close. They were really good in the United States, but in Portugal, I don't know what or why or the variety. I don't understand, but it's like it made duo of durian like for the first for my favorite fruit ever. But I saw in your profile that you do a lot of raw vegan gourmet dishes. Can you talk a little bit more about it? Do you teach it? And do you think it's useful for people? Because, for example, when I started, and for us, people that understand the necessity of going raw vegan, that is easy, to adopt it. We make that change really easy. But like for most people, I see that they have a really hard time making that change. So even me, for example, like 10 years ago, I started creating, more than 10 years ago, I started creating a lot of recipes to help people out, like with a raw vegan cupcake, So can you tell us your view on that?
Yeah, I think it can be very helpful for people who transition from regular lifestyle if they're interested in trying this raw lifestyle, these raw dishes, to introduce them to these transitional recipes that usually they're more dense. They contain more nuts and seeds that usually people eat who are on this lifestyle longer. But I think it's important because those meals, those creations are pretty similar to cooked dishes. When we use dehydrator, we can have the texture almost like cooked. So I feel like it's very important, and it's even though it can feel like it's cooked and it's denser, nutritionally speaking, these raw creations going to be much healthier than cooked because we still have all the nutrients intact, all the enzymes. So yeah, I would recommend to, for people, start with these dishes, and, it's going to be much more fun for them. And then slowly, from my personal experience, I want to eat much simple. I love just, just enjoy of the vegetables and greens like the way they are, with the minimum ingredients in my salad dressings, and this is how I feel better. But from the beginning, yes, those are amazing. And I recently released my new ebook. They call it Raw Vegan Cheese and Swiss Rolls, including raw buckwheat bread, and people absolutely love it. And especially considering that people have such addiction to dairy products, which is one of the most mucus and inflammatory products out there for a human. And this plant-based raw cheeses are made with nuts and seeds. I don't even use cashews there. I don't use oils. And yeah, those recipes can be really helpful to replace those those unhealthy choices. And the raw bread, people are addicted to bread often, and in my book I have that recipes from the for the raw sprouted buckwheat bread that can be used for sandwiches, for pizzas, for wraps, and so it's pretty cool.
Nice, nice, nice. And can you tell us a little bit more about the lifestyle as well? What other helpful practice you pay attention to besides just the raw vegan diet?
Absolutely. So it's not only diet alone that helped me to have my optimal health in my age. There's so many things that you can do to optimize your health. Like I cannot emphasize how important your sleep is, for example. Like sleep is just so important. If we don't sleep enough, we don't feel motivated, we don't feel energy to work out, to eat healthy probably, just the energy is not there, your body is not regenerating enough. So and healing, because we heal when we sleep and recover our muscles when we sleep. So it's super important, like you see.
Yeah. Sleep and biological rhythms. I'm really into chronobiology nowadays. Like not trying to avoid electric lights at night, or at least dim the lights really, really low, like, because this is, at the beginning for sure, I focus a lot on diet as everybody does it. But like nowadays, I pay attention a lot to chronobiology and chrononutrition. So that's why I got a little bit late, people, to record the interview, because I attended a patient and then I wanted to have dinner before the sun sets, because eating after the sunset increases cholesterol, triglycerides, glycemia, insulin, turns on inflammatory genes. It deals with a lot of bad stuff. So I try to have dinner before nightfall.
Love it. Yeah, totally. I totally agree with it. So diet, sleep, and then your workout schedule. I mean, naturally, when people start eating raw food, they're gonna get more energy, and this energy can be invested in your exercises, your activity level. For example, for a woman, it's super important when she is over 40 years old to work out with weights to not lose muscle mass. It's super important for the bone density and to not lose muscle mass. And other practices that I'm doing regularly, it's meditation in the morning, it's breath work every day. It helped me to balance myself out, to kind of balance my energy, my chakras, and feel more centered, more grounded. And I often do sauna to help my body to expel the toxins through my skin, and I do some kind of like a facials with my hands with some essential oils. What else? I mean, just find some activity that you enjoy doing. Be outside more often on sun, walk bare feet. Yeah. I mean, that was essential.
Nice. Guys at home, like I still don't have a lot of videos on this English channel about it, but I have videos on my Portuguese channel on grounding, for example. There's not as much science yet, although everybody can relate feeling a lot better. There's already science showing that put your feet on the ground, putting your feet on the grass, in nature, in sand, actually reduces inflammation and have a lot of other health benefits. Also, for example, she talked about sauna, and there's turning on heat shock proteins. For example, men that does sauna in Finland every day have 65% less heart attacks, heart diseases, and neurological diseases compared to, I don't remember if it's neurological diseases or Parkinson exactly, or Alzheimer, but still, they have less chance of dying from these diseases considerably, like just by doing sauna every day, 60%, 65% less, it's like huge. Because if you think about, if you incorporate diet and sleep and exercise, you know, just by sauna itself, it's like a huge benefit. So that's why I asked her what are the other helpful practice, because for example, being out in nature, it modulates your neurological system, your hormonal system. It turns on, you breathe phytoncides that actually help you to protect you from cancer and from diabetes. There's a lot of research. I cannot go through it all right now, but I will be doing videos in the future for the channel. But there's a lot of research that a lot of what she said, for example, breath work, like meditation, the breath work from Wim Hof has been proven scientifically to help with a lot of diseases and reduce inflammation. We call hypercyclic ventilation in science, but like, yeah, I completely agree. And the free time I have besides working, I try to also focus on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and one tip, like I can give to everybody, maybe you know about it. Like it's very important when we have dinner or some kind of dense meal to not sit, but go outside and have a walk, maybe like 20 minutes walk. And just by doing this, walking after a denser meal or dinner, we can reduce blood sugar by 35%. And if somebody doesn't have opportunity to go outside, maybe it's rain or something cold, they can do squats, like at least 20 squats, and they're gonna have the same effect. So dropping blood sugar by up to 35%, which is pretty cool.
Nice. I completely agree. Although I think, but we can disagree on that. I always prefer to exercise before lunch or dinner, because there's also, you know, there's a lot of benefits, but I completely agree. Yeah, people, I think it's a human mistake, right? We focus too much on what we are learning, on the change, that we get too caught up on the diets, you know, like when I changed, I was just thinking about like diets. I was even worrying about blending a dressing for my salad because it would damage the fiber, it would oxidize the nutrients. I was like, you know, we don't know better, right? Like 20 years ago when I went raw, there was no YouTube, there was nothing on the internet, you know, there was not too many information around. So, you know, like I was like scared of like mixing fruits or vegetables or, you know, blending a dressing. I was like, no, let me eat everything with my hands. And I remember my dad laughing at me eating like mangoes and lettuce. Like I bite in the lettuce and I bite in the mango. I bite in the lettuce because if I did a dressing, I would damage the nutrients. You know, like I was too worried.
So right now with this technology that right now, there are vacuum blenders, and this is the blender that I'm using right now. Vacuum system allows to blend without oxygen, so you preserve those sensitive phytochemicals, phytonutrients when you blend without oxygen.
For sure. I agree, but like back then, you know, like I was just a kid trying to make the biggest change in the world because nobody could even understand what I was doing, but I knew I was in the right path. But tell us more, like, do you also fast? What do you think of intermittent fasting and water fasting?
Okay, I don't do any extended fast more than 3 days. Just like on the juices. From the beginning on my journey, I did extensive herbal teas fast, and I got a lot of healing from that with daily enemas and parasites clean after that, liver flush. So I don't do this anymore, but I maintain my body on a regular basis. I pretty much I do intermittent fasting every day. My eating window is no more than 8 hours. And, you know, I feel like the only way I would fast more than 3 days right now if I would get sick, which I don't. So for myself, I don't see the need to fast more than 3 days because on a regular basis, I pretty much fast every day. Yeah.
Nice.
Which doesn't feel like I'm fasting. I'm used to this. My body used to that schedule, and I love it.
Nice, nice. And what else about like buying fruits and vegetables? Because a lot of people are afraid to make the change, thinking that the diet will be way more expensive than a normal diet, right?
It can be that any diet can be as expensive or as affordable as we choose it to be. So if we choose to eat like expensive tropical fruits important, then yeah, it can be expensive. If we choose to make a fancy raw dishes every day, then yes, it can be expensive. So, but it's not necessary. I mean, the raw diet can be pretty simple. I would recommend to, when we shop, to pay attention. Maybe we have something on sale, to like vegetables, fruits on sale, to stock up on those. There are so many, like if there is not enough fresh, not enough variety of fresh fruits in a store, maybe there is an opportunity to buy something frozen and make more smoothies with it, to stock up like during the winter when there is not much fruits varieties. And in general, just it can be expensive, but it's not necessary. The dressings can be very simple. The zucchini pastas are so simple and affordable. Some nuts are more expensive than some seeds. Like sunflower seeds are very cheap. Like hemp seeds are pretty cheap, and you can do so many dishes with it. Or like a raw sprouted buckwheat or mung beans, fenugreek. Those are super not expensive, and they're so nutritious. So. And also, I would recommend maybe to shop around to see where the local maybe fruit stands or little markets support those small farmers. So yeah, definitely there's opportunity to make it affordable.
Nice, nice. And how much, for example, just people understand how big is a raw fooder buying? Yeah. How big is the amount of food you buy for the week?
Okay, it's hard to say because we share the same diet with my boyfriend, and we eat the same way. We pretty much like everything is the same. So we make sure we have enough fruits on the day for each day. Something is not ripe, something is ripe. So everything is we have enough fruit, enough to eat every day, and we have like a supply of fruit to eat for another at least 3 days. So we probably go to the store. Usually it's once a week, and sometimes twice a week if I run out of something. Well, I'm not sure what to tell you, because people ask me how much I eat. I feel like this question, I'm not sure if it's an appropriate question, because we're so different now. My activity level is different. My goals are different. Like my metabolism is different, and I've been doing it for so many years. So I might eat much less than a person who just started. Because when I just started, I was buying boxes of bananas and oranges and apples, and I was just eating nonstop. And then when my body got more efficient, now I can eat a couple apples and I'm good, or a melon and I'm good for another 2 hours, 3 hours. So yeah.
I feel the same. I used to eat a lot more back in the days than what I eat now. Although I still eat a lot, because I exercise a lot, but still it's way less than 15 years ago.
Yeah. What I noticed, I used to eat much more fruits before I started eating living food. So when I feel like my body now getting more nutrients from greens, and I don't have to eat that much fruit. And I still eat a lot of fruit because fruit is my favorite food. I mean, it's just no-brainer. I think the fruit is the only food on the planet that wants to be eaten, because how accessible it is, because of the taste. I mean, because of the color, because of the smell, because it just drops in the tree wants to drop the fruit and give it to us. And yeah, I mean, that's why I love fruits, and that's how it makes me feel. Yeah, so, but I don't eat that much fruit as before because I start eating more greens. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel the same. Every time I try to live on fruit, I wasn't feeling that well. I needed at least 500 grams of greens per day to be, to feel like stable. But like at the same time, the feeling is so good after eating a really big salad. You feel just, it's so amazing. But like, why do you start like sprouting your greens? Do you think that make a lot of difference? Do you feel a lot of difference? Or would you feel the same with just lettuce and broccoli,
I probably wouldn't. And, I've been doing it for many years now, and I started growing microgreens in a small apartment, actually in the bathroom. I didn't have much space. And I feel my digestion is much easier when I eat living food because the enzymes are still intact there. Because when we buy food produce from the store, it can sit on the shelf for weeks before it gets to our table. And every day, this produce loses its potency, loses its nutrition, loses its enzyme amount. But living food, especially when it's harvested right before you're using it, it contains everything, all the nutrients intact, living force, phytochemicals, phytonutrients. And it requires such a little energy of the body to digest because it's pretty much pre-digested. And again, this is the biggest part of the body's energy that goes for digestion. So I feel like it frees lots of energy when we eat this food. And nutritionally speaking, again, this food doesn't lose its nutrition amount because it's harvested right there. And wheatgrass, for example, 1 ounce of wheatgrass equivalent of 2 pounds of vegetables. So for people who do not like vegetables, wheatgrass shot. I mean, it's not like you don't have to eat vegetables; it can replace your vegetables. You still, you recommend it to eat vegetables, but I mean, wheatgrass alone has about 100 minerals in it, and it's almost identical to your blood plasma. It's very healing for your gut, for your skin. You can apply it to your skin, and chlorophyll, and it's detoxifying. So it's amazing.
Nice. I never had a wheatgrass shots or juices, and I also never had. I already ate sprouts, right? But like I never did my own sprouts and ate them frequently, so I wouldn't know to tell the difference. I think I got interested after you saying because maybe in trying it out to see how it goes because. I never tried them both of them. I already ate some sprouts, but now growing them every day and putting them on my salads for every day.
Yeah, so the microgreens, what you see behind me, it's a small version of mature plant, and because it's such a small, it's the nutrients that are concentrated. For example, broccoli microgreens are one of the most nutritious out there, and they have anti-cancer properties. And for example, this sunflower, they're so nutritious, and this is probably my favorite taste-wise, and everybody loves them. They have mild flavor, a little bit reminds of that sunflower flavor, and has all the essential amino acids. So yeah, I mean, the nutrients, they're very concentrated. If you compare broccoli and broccoli microgreens, some people experience digestive discomfort eating mature broccoli because of the fiber. So broccoli microgreens do not have that. They're easier to digest and they're packed with nutrients.
Yeah, for sure. I have seen the research showing that they have a lot more nutrients. And for sure, because they're still simple carbs, right? Like even primates, that's a really interesting thing. Even primates, they choose the younger leaves instead of the older ones, because for sure they probably think it's more tasty and they go for the taste, because for sure they are more simple carbs. And so they're like, everybody that already harvested kale from their garden can tell the smaller kale are always more tasty than the bigger kales. But like there's research showing that the smaller leaves has also more protein, less anti-nutrients, and so yeah, for sure. I love broccoli though. The smaller the broccoli, the better. Broccoli with avo. I love to use broccoli in avos and eat it. It's so good. So the ones you like they're all easy to grow, and the ones you like the most are, you said broccoli sprout or something.
Or there are different methods to grow microgreens. For example, broccoli microgreens are easy to grow in a jar. You don't need even soil, because here I'm using soil method, and some people don't like it because it can be a little messy, to put the soil there. But still, I was using this method in a small apartment in the bathroom. That's how I was committed. Some microgreens can be grown in a like coconut coir. It's not soil. It's not a jar. It's just like it's a medium that is made out of coconut husk. So depending on the size of the seed, there are preferred and recommended medium. So yeah, like broccoli microgreens, if you plant them, if you like start growing them in a jar, they can be available for you to eat in probably 8 days. You just leave it, you just soak them, rinse them, and soak them, come back to them every like 12 hours, rinse them, and you're gonna see that they're growing, and then you put them by the natural light or LED light, and they're gonna develop that chlorophyll, and they're ready to eat. It's super easy to grow.
Nice. That's cool. I have to try them. I have to try to grow them one day, and make it a habit of eating them. Nowadays, I'm spending a lot of time in my big garden, because I'm trying to, I have 300 fruit trees on my yard. So.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah. But I cannot manage to grow some stuff that I like a lot, like durian and persimmons, for example. They always die over here when I plant them on the ground. So I have them in big pots, and I'm leaving them to grow as much as they can in the big jars, right? But let's see. The durians that I have here, they're already 1 year. I started them from seeds, and so let's see if I can manage to have durians from my garden one day. But but it takes a lot of time. Gardening is not that easy when you want to plant a lot of trees. But I have like coconuts. I harvest coconuts almost every day. There's a lot of stuff to harvest. Yeah. It's so cool. I feel so good. Like it was a dream when I became a raw vegan, a frugivore. So any other motivation that you can give the listeners at home? Any kind of advice on how, because I see a lot of people, they have issues like going vegan, or, making the change or maintaining the change. What would be your suggestions, and tips?
So from my experience, people have different reasons to change their diet. And unfortunately, most of the time, it's when they start experiencing health challenges. When it's, and then it can be, when they go like far enough, then to treat these health challenges can be much longer, much more expensive. So my advice for people to not wait until it's pretty late and long and expensive, and start thinking about it now, how to prevent those health challenges, because it's going to be much easier to overcome them and prevent them in the future. And to maintain this lifestyle, they have to find a way how to make it easy for them, to find recipes that they enjoy eating, make it enjoyable. And just to remember that body can heal itself if you give it proper tools, if you give it enough rest. It can heal on its own if you feed your body with the natural food, do some cleanses, and then the health is gonna be on a different level. It's easier than we think. It's just it's nobody advertising it outside because nobody wants people to be healthy, because you cannot make money out of healthy person. So my advice, to take responsibility for our own health, and it's going to be easier for that person and for environment, for the animals, for the family members, for everybody.
Nice. And the last thing I want to say is that I saw your profile. I don't remember when I followed you, but like I took a look at your profile on Instagram before we start, and I saw a lot of nice stuff, a lot of videos that I want to take a look afterwards to see how, like, the recipes, etc. Like, I'm also a chef, so like I'm always interested, like, because each one of us comes up with a lot of interesting recipes. I have a friend that he created a kibi. It's like a herb recipe that is like so good, and it's like each person can create something, and it's so cool. So how can they find you, and what is your favorite raw vegan recipe?
Okay, I have an Instagram account. They call it Vegan Fruity Flour, one word. And I share what I do there. I share my recipes. I share some tips like for healthy living, some motivational videos. And my favorite recipes are I like raw vegan cheese a lot, and I like raw Swiss rolls. And how I come up with the Swiss rolls, my boyfriend actually challenged me. He asked me, can you make Swiss rolls, but make it healthy version of it and raw, without sugar, without even dates, without oils. So I came up with these amazing recipes, and it's just amazing. It has different flavors, blueberry flavor, raspberry, chocolate, matcha. And I mean, there's no even dates. There is no agave. There is no maple syrup. So I really, really love it. And I like buckwheat. I like anything with buckwheat. I grew up on buckwheat. Because I'm from Belarus, and I used to eat roasted buckwheat, like cooked. And now I use raw sprouted buckwheat in so many of my recipes. I make buckwheat porridge with some fruits. I make buckwheat salad with avocado and different spices and herbs and vegetables, and I make raw sprouted bread. Like buckwheat is just like my go-to. When I travel, I make a batch of buckwheat bread with me, and it's so filling, and it has all the amino acids, a lot of minerals, vitamin B. So love it.
Nice. That's so cool. Like I'm looking forward to take a look at some of your heroes, to see if you teach some recipes, because some of those, the cheeses and things like that, it looked really amazing. It looked really appealing. So
they look like cheese, and like even for people who are like eating like regular dairy cheese, I mean they're impressed. It's just amazing. The texture, the taste, it's pretty cool.
Nice. So first of all, it was a pleasure to meet you. It was a pleasure to interview you. I hope everybody at home also like it, and I hope go follow her, go learn more, because if you are starting this path, if you want to maintain this path, you gotta learn with people that already are making it happen for a long time. So maybe we meet one day in like a fruit festival in US. If you ever come to Brazil, please you guys come visit me, and it will be a pleasure to meet you both in person. And everybody at home, stay tuned for more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell button for notifications. Subscribe to the channel, comment, give it a thumbs up, and also I have 10 books published on Portuguese. I still haven't translated them all to English, but the ones I have translated is the Hygienic Fasting Nature Surgery. It's available on Amazon and on print on demand and Kindle, and also my recipe book. Where is it? It's over here as well. So I have consultations online. I have the books, but not all of them are in Portuguese. I run retreats here in Brazil in my space, in my farm, right? It's not actually a farm. It's quite close to the beach, but it looks like a farm. And also I have online courses. So and online and in-person consultations. So if you're looking for help with a transition to raw vegan or to veganism, or even just getting your diet a little bit better, I can help you out. And for sure, Vegan Fruity Flour can also help you out. The book, I have seen it on your the pin it over your Instagram feeds. I will take a look at it, and so they can find you on Instagram, right?
Yes.
Okay, I will put the link here in the description. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Did you like the podcast? What other subjects would you want to view here? Do you want to know more about? Please comment below. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications. And if you want to help our work and help yourself, 2 of my 10 books are already translated and published in English on Amazon. And Hygienic Fasting Nature Surgery is actually available print on demand also. And Natural Delicacies Cooking Without a Stove, it's on Kindle. So if you want my help, the link below for the website and for the WhatsApp contact, you can get a consultation, retreats, online courses, and read all the books. It's life-changing information for the most updated lifestyle information out there in the planet. Hope I can help, and don't forget to click these videos to know more.